Hello and welcome into Sorare with Laird, a very special episode today. I am Andrew Laird. You can find me on Sorare as Lairdino on Sorare. Sorry. Joined today by Momo from Sorare to talk about a rather lengthy update that came today. Momo, you told me you guys have been working on this for a while. I read through it. It's a lot of stuff in there for today's announcement, which is the third basically of kind of the new gameplay for Sorare 26. How does it feel to be done with it?
Relieved, firstly, especially as we're seeing that the first reactions are quite good. But yeah, it has been a lot of work. It has been kind of tough to announce the first parts without all the details and big picture, but we had to give our managers the most notice we could. But we're really happy that they are finally able to see the full picture and understand where we wanted to land. So and of course, sorry I didn't introduce myself properly, but thanks a lot for having me. And yeah, I'm working in the marketing and community team at Sorare, and yeah, we, as you said, the announcement is quite dense. So this, thank you for having me, because it's also a way to give a bit more context and to walk through all those changes together.
Yeah, so I think the way we're going to do this is basically try to go through the announcement. I'm not going to read the whole thing because everybody can do that. But if anybody has any specific questions as we go through it, happy to pull those up from the live chat. Specifically, thank you to everybody for joining us live. We had lots of we have a lot of people here because people are very excited for this announcement, and so we're going to get right into it. But it wouldn't be a Sorare with Laird without at least congratulating the three on the podium. So Deculp, Andreas, and Rude, way to be here early. And in fact, Deculp was here 6 hours early. So love that. Anyway, let's go through it. We're going to go through today's announcement, which is not obviously the one that the initial one and then the AMA, but specifically today, the prize pool and the competition structure. And I'm not going to, like I said, I won't read through everything, but we are going to kind of touch on what you guys announced specifically today. So obviously we have the new in-season competition structures, which we pretty much knew about from the initial announcement, where we're going to have Eredivisie and Jupiler adding to the in-season competitions. We now know that Ligue 1 and McDonald's very happy today for all of the free exposure that they're getting from this announcement. But Ligue 1 will also have their own league-specific competition, which brings us to 7, as we see here on the screen: the Premier League, Ligue 1, La Liga, Bundesliga, Jupiler, Eredivisie, and Major League Soccer. You guys kind of touched on it a little bit on later on about Serie A. I don't think we need to go into that later, but basically it sounds like it just wasn't that easy to get all of those teams on board or the league on board, which is why they're not included. We do have this new challenger and contender split for in-season. Challenger is now Portugal, Turkey, Denmark, Scotland, and Austria. So I guess we can congratulate the Austrian Bundesliga and SPFL for being promoted to challenger. Contenders now K-League, J-League, Norway, Croatia, Argentina, 2 Bundesliga, and Ligue 2. Somebody, I think in one of my Discord, noted that the English Championship isn't shown. Do we know where they end up?
Yeah, that's a good question. Here we only show the licensed leagues and clubs. So we precise just a bit later that all the other covered leagues are in contender for the classic slot that you can play in season everywhere. So that's also the case of the championship.
Okay, perfect. And there's a quick question here because I saw it just while we're here. Marcel said in the last video you mentioned it's possible to get a 4th team slot, but in the current update, there's no information about how it's possible to get the 4th slot, which there is. And the good news is you just get it.
Exactly. At the beginning, we were thinking that it could be some kind of gameplay stuff that you unlock, etc. But in the end, we decided that it's going to be automatic for everyone to maximize utility in classic, notably. But we also wanted to do it for in season. So it's 4 slots for every competition, every scarcity, and yeah, it's automatic. Nothing is needed.
So I see a lot of questions coming in, and I hate to be that guy to be like, you should read the blog because there are a lot of questions that are like very clearly answered in here, which we will get through as we go through it. But just I'm not ignoring any questions, but it will be just stuff that maybe we touch on. So yeah, so in season, we have these. These are our competitions. There are now 9 of them where we
Exactly.
can win our in-season cash, and all of them have hot streaks as well. We'll get to hot streaks momentarily because honestly, the numbers are much bigger than I was expecting. I'll put it that way. So yeah, here it is. Every manager will be able to enter up to 4 lineups in both in-season and classics from the start of the season. And for classic competitions, for SO7, we have the permanent All-Star U23 and Champion Europe. And this is the update about Serie A. Basically, yeah, they're
Yeah,
not going to be able to be played.
yeah,
But there was a question here before because it says here we can use Serie A cards in classic in the classic slot in season challenger, but I don't think it says. Oh yeah, sorry, it does say or yes, Champion Europe Classic. Somebody had mentioned like, can you not do it in Classic? So like Serie A cards can be used in season challenger or Classic Champion.
exactly. Basically, as you said, like the reason for Serie A not to have its dedicated competition is because of partnership reason. Uh, Myself, I consider myself as a strong Serie A fan, of course, because I'm a big fan of Inter, and even last year with them on Sorare, I didn't leave my passion for Inter on Sorare because we didn't have Inter, and that's the same for all the guys who support Juve, Roma, and other big clubs. Some who also have their clubs on Sorare are frustrated maybe by the bundle sales, etc. So at this point, it wasn't possible to get this full league experience. Hopefully, it will be in a near future. So, of course, the discussions are continuing with the league. But yeah, so for the launch, we still wanted to honor the manager owning Serie A cards in the best possible way. And given that champion no longer exists in the current structure in season, because now 4 out of the 5 leagues have their dedicated league, so it would have just diluted rewards across the prize pools. But still, we wanted them to have in-season utility. I mean, as classic card being slotted in a lineup. So we put them in challenger. And on the other hand, as you can see in the blog here, you have still many places where you can use and play your Serie A classic card, notably in Champion Classic, but all those other competition and modes.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. And to be honest, as somebody who just loathed bundles anyway, it was just nice to not have to. I'm sure you guys are happy to not have to deal with the bundles anymore. But you don't have to comment on that one. Anyway, the early access cards are coming back this year, which I think everybody was kind of expecting just because we need to have our cards early. So I assume it'll follow the same path of, they'll be wrapped to start and then sometime in September, I assume there'll be a reveal event. Is that right?
Exactly. Yeah. Of course, I will not spoil the amazing work our design team is currently doing. So there's gonna be a similar experience, but not exactly the same design and process. But yeah, it's early access, and then reveal with the players' picture when we have them. So the the timing should be approximately similar to last season. And what we changed a bit this year is that it's league. The release is like more like spread across summer, not like big league groups launching at the same time. and we're being transparent with the dates, which could slightly change, but normally not. And you can already prepare for the league that you really want to play and be ready for.
Yeah. So for those watching, you can see up on the screen, this is the kind of the launch calendar for each of the leagues. So we have July 17th is, what is that, 2 weeks from today is when the first ones come. That's going to be Jupiler, followed by the SPFL. I would guess that's Monday, Thursday. Yeah, somewhere on there. Monday, Denmark, Austria. And then on the 24th, we've got a big one, Croatia, 2 Bundesliga and Ligue 2. And then on the 28th, Turkish Superliga, Liga Portugal, and is that, wait a minute. What is this one? 3F Superliga?
Let me check that.
Is that what we call Denmark as well? I don't know. 29th Eredivisie, 31st is the Prem, so that's going to be a big day for everybody. August 4th for Ligue 1, the 7th for La Liga, and August 11th for the Bundesliga. Obviously, I think the Bundesliga starts later, so yeah, there's that. This was exciting. I think a lot of people weren't sure if like the divisions, your division placement would carry over or not, and so the answer is it will not, because we have a lot of new structures anyway. And so, the first game week basically of each competition is going to be one leaderboard, and then top 20% go to Division 1. This is probably just limited and rare. 20% through 60% in D2, and the bottom percent in D3. Did you guys consider keeping like some of what the carryover leagues were, like Prem and Bundesliga and La Liga, to keep the people's division spots at all?
Well, to be honest, we saw that the MLS Division Battle, which was the first time we presented this format, was like super exciting and loved by the community. So we also loved it, and we wanted to reiterate the experience for those launches. And given it's in season only for those leagues, it also makes sense to start them from scratch. Sorry, with the new season cards. So yeah, we figured it was better to do it like this rather than having them just go through across the new season. And just sorry for the small mistake that you pointed out on the calendar. It's just a mistake. The third league that we will fix shortly. But yes, on that date that you showed, it's only Turkey. Yes, the Turkey and Portugal. We will fix that right after.
Okay.
But yeah, the division battle is a super exciting format, so everyone loves it here, and we'll do it again. And we're also making sure that division battle only takes place when all the leagues play for the grouped competition like Challenger, Contender, Champion Classic. And also for All-Star Under 23, they're going to be a division battle. So and this one will be even a bit later, so that like at least the majority of the All-Star leagues play at this moment. And yeah, that's it.
And so and you get 4 entries for all of these. So theoretically, you could get 4 D1 entries right away.
That's correct. Yeah, exactly. And before the division battle take place for the few competition where it's not taking place in the first game week, like All Star, for example, the prize pool that you see in our blogs are just merged. So the 3 divisions are just merged into one leaderboard, but the exact same total of cards, essence, or cash for in season is concentrated in the one unique leaderboard.
Makes sense. So we've got record-breaking prize pools, biggest prize pools ever. A lot of that comes from hot streaks, which, like I said, I was surprised at just kind of the size of the streaks of each individual step, to be honest. It's similar to MLS in terms of there's still 5 streak levels with a reward at each time. The one thing that jumped out at me, which I guess I just hadn't considered, but I want to skip to, here it is is if you don't play, you don't get relegated, which, or not relegated, but you don't lose your streak, which I think obviously is a nice mechanic so that the example that you guys use, like if you have SPFL cards in Challenger and they don't play a game week, it doesn't feel fair to be to lose your streak that way. And so I think that's a great addition, honestly.
Yeah, and you can. I'm not sure many managers will do that, but if you really feel like skipping a game week before because you don't want to lose your streak, you also can try this strategy. But yeah, it was needed mostly because of the introduction of hot streaks for challenger and contender. Yeah, we we didn't want to penalize a manager who only play one of the league covered there, so we needed to do it.
And that applies to all of the streak.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking just, if you're somebody who only has one team in the Prem or something like that, and they have a cup game that weekend, and then all of a sudden they're not playing. But if you don't play, then you don't lose it, which I think is great.
Exactly.
As a reminder, you also are allowed to use one classic card in a streak eligible lineup, and yeah, all the new lineup bonuses, which were the cap 260 and the kind of anti-stack bonuses, are counted. So
Exactly.
these are the streak amounts, which, like I said, are significantly higher than I thought. For Prem, Liga 1, La Liga, and Bundesliga, they're basically 4x from limited to rare. 360 points is the lowest level for limited. That wins you $5 in limited, $20 in rare, all the way up to $1,000 if you hit the top streak in limited, 4,000 in rare. That's 510 points that you'll need in rare. Obviously, that includes the scarcity bonus there. And then for the other 4 competitions, they're basically half, right? Roughly half. 500 for the top in limited, 2,000 for the Jupiler Eredivisie Challenger and Contender, which is nuts. And then this one is where, yeah, we'll get into this. So basically, hot streaks are doubling for the first month. It's basically until
More than that.
more than
End
a
of
month. You're right.
September. Yeah. It's for 2 months
2
basically.
months. Yeah. So it ends basically the end of September.
Exactly.
All of the prizes are doubled, and so you can win 2,000 in limited and 8,000 in rare if you hit the top streak in the 4 champion leagues, and then 1,000 and 4,000 limited rare respectively in the other 4, which that's just a lot of money. And obviously that's going to be encouraging everybody to get in early with their in-season cards, but you start competing for these things right away. And an additional one here. I love the celebrating Challenger and Contender for these leagues, but it was specifically Jupiler, Eredivisie, Challenger, and Contender. The actual targets are being lowered for the first game week through the end of August. Limited, you only need, instead of 360 points, you only need 250. And instead of 380, you need 300. Rare is 400 down to 275. And then 420 to 330. That seemed pretty generous, but also we got to get our cards. Simple as that.
Yeah, no. We wanted to start strong, and and reward all the managers that are planning to play early and leave the full season building their collection early and fighting on the in-season leaderboards. So yeah, we wanted to have this cool promo for them, and yeah, more generally, we wanted to make hot streak generous because we know that like the video game mode are loved. We like also the fact that you on Sorare 26, it's now super clear where you play, what you can win, and how. I mean, it's hot streaks. You're alone, so you don't care about like a high scoring game weeks because of Bayern or City or anything. Like super clear. If you hit the target, you win that, and you climb, and you can get like top prices also on hot streaks. Um, I mean, we're gonna see that, but we also maintained top prizes on the leaderboard, where there you fight with the others, but you can reach even higher prices. And then you have all the other layers, like the championship, the missions, the etc. So yeah, we are really happy with the gameplay panorama that we built. And yes, it makes Sorare 26, I think, the best edition we've had so far.
And one of the things that was referenced, and I think I can't remember if it was right here at the beginning of the hot streak conversation, um, but it was basically you guys are more interested in kind of offering the, I don't want to call it the like the lower cash prizes, but that's basically what they are, where you kind of reference previously, if you were in limited, if you finished between 50th and 700th, everybody kind of won the same prize. And you guys were trying to get away from that. And so it's more, as you say, like you can still win top prizes when you get to the top of the leaderboard, but now it's just if you reach a certain level, you're going to win that cash prize, whatever the level is, and then it just allows you guys to pay more based on those levels.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And the hot tricks with this promo that we're doing, it's also because it's kind of it's super complicated to boost a prize pool for a temporary moment. But with the hot tricks, it gives us this flexibility to test, like promo events, temporary boost on the rewards. So it's the perfect way to do it, and to be more generous at some moments of the season. Yeah, so we wanted to do it like that this season. Last season, if you remember well, we started with the double up promos straight away at lunch, etc. uh, I won't spoil everything, but of course, we are planning things and some surprises as the card will roll out. But we also wanted to focus with to start the party with a gameplay type of promo, and yeah, Hot Trick allows that.
Yeah, obviously they're becoming a very big part of the game, and so
Yeah,
we'll keep playing. But as this mentions, there's still big cash prizes kind of at the top of the leaderboards as well. And here's the section I was referring to. But basically, the smaller cash rewards are no longer part of the main leaderboard structure because those are going to be part of hot streaks, and so you
exactly.
don't have to worry about necessarily where you finish as long as it's above the line. Um,
Yeah, I think yeah, that's an important point, because last season sometimes you could score 360 or 380, but in Div 3 limited Premier League, that was 3 essence. So hot streaks also allow for this clarity on what you can win, and on those amounts of cash that you can win regularly when you start your streak, at least. So yeah, that's indeed how they were built. So we took off that, as we call it, long tail of rewards with smaller amounts, because now it's rewarded through hot streaks.
So speaking of winning 3 essence, you can no longer do that. You guys are changing kind of the whole essence denominations. Do you want to? I mean, it's all here, kind of in the blog of how you
Yeah,
guys are doing it. But I think the easiest explanation is you guys are changing it so that it's easier to understand where everything falls. Because, like you said, with a lot of the boosts that are coming from sealing or stacking or not stacking or whatever it is, that round numbers are just easier to multiply.
exactly. It's a super basic scale change, because of the ceiling bonus, mostly. Because it would have been a nightmare to reward 3 essence with let's say 5% boost. We don't want to give half of essence or even less. So we wanted the smaller essence amount on the leaderboards to be 100, so that every percentage boost can be applied super easily and clearly in the how we distribute the rewards. So it's everything changes, so the price pool are adapted, of course. That's why You can win up to 2,000, I think, essence. The arena eligibility, also the crafting pool, the same, of course, and of course your balance, because you can take your essence to your current essence balance to next season. So we also had to switch, and we really made sure that the switch is generous, because if to be honest, if we really wanted to just reflect the transition to the new scale, it would have been enough to multiply by 15, I think, or even 10. But we decided to go with 20, also to be generous with the managers who saved up essence for next season. And we're also aware that they they were maybe hoping for a T1 plus pool if they had more than 500 essence saved up. But with this change, they will have, and with the fact that we're being a bit more generous, they will have 10,000 essence in the new system, which is 10 pools with really good odds. And we will see that, but the special draws, etc. So we wanted to be generous when doing that.
Yeah, for those who play Sorare MLB, the 1,000 essence is a number you're already pretty familiar with. So, but yeah, basically, you can craft cards at 1,000 once you hit 1,000 essence. Which, if you've been saving essence, odds are you probably are there. And then another really nice point is that you guys have removed the maximum amount of essence that you can hold. So I know there have been lots of other I've seen lots of people kind of talk about they were at the top, they were trying to save it, and they didn't want to win too much because they wouldn't be able to actually
Yeah.
win it. And so now, yeah, you can earn as much essence as you could possibly fit.
Yeah, exactly. No, no, that's certainly not a behavior we wanted to encourage, like the fact of people not playing because they would be afraid of winning too much. So we decided to remove it for now. We'll still need to see um, how this new system behaves, how much essence people are able to win in one single game week, the max balances that we see, because at some point we we might not reintroduce it, but we will need something to not make essence stackable with no limit. But we will make sure that it has no impact on the gameplay and the fact that you can play, etc. So we are starting with no max at the beginning.
The next part is at least an example of the upcoming prize pool. The one you guys showed was the Premier League Limited and Rare. $2,500 for first place in Division One. The first thing that jumped out at me, well, actually, there are two things. One was we're going back to winning multiple rewards per spot. So meaning like you can win cash and essence, or essence and XP. The other was it seems like you guys have put a bigger emphasis on being in Division One, that the prizes are, I mean, as we see here for the Premier League Limited, first place in Division One is 5 times bigger than Division Two. And was there? Did you guys have like feedback that like Division One should, that you wanted more people to be in Division One, or want to be in Division One at least? Or I actually don't know. Now that I've said all of that, I can't even remember if that was the ratio from last year or not.
So yeah, for regarding the first point you mentioned, indeed now you can win cash and essence, or essence and XP. So the new crafting system is super exciting, and we know that like winning a card or crafting a card is something like special on Sorare. So we did it like this for this new season, and you can win essence a lot, and at many type of different ranks. And yeah, for the second part, we always wanted Division One to be what every manager aims for. So it has always been the goal to make it the most attractive possible. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, in our current model of promotion and relegation dynamics, it means that something around 20% of the participant in a competition and scarcity will be in Division One. So it's exclusive, but you can make your way there, and if you it's skill based. I mean, if you perform, you can get there. And yeah, we wanted being in Division One already to be a big achievement, and have access to the top rewards. I think in some cases, I mean, I think in Division One, maybe 70 or 80% of the leaderboard could win Essence, because, like, yeah, it's gonna be exclusive. So already being in Division One is a huge thing to celebrate.
For sure, for sure. And I mean, just looking at this payout for limited, I mean, the top 300 being from 200 to 300, that thousand essence is enough to craft a card. And so
Exactly.
there's going to be lots of opportunities to be able to get cards.
Exactly. And the other small important thing that you quickly mentioned at the beginning is, yeah, we also fixed what you said about the fact that in the last season you could maybe finish like 61st and win the same reward as the 700 rank. So now, thanks to that, whether it's through the cash amounts or the essence granularity, we can have something that is more balanced, and I mean more granular. So we addressed this feedback. That was a really valid and good feedback we had from last season.
Yeah, and obviously, whenever you're in this range, like the odds that of you finishing in one of these top spots and not hitting one of the streaks is also probably pretty low, and so you're probably getting some hot streak cash on top of this, um,
Exactly.
whatever you play.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really good point. As you said, you can win 1,000 essence for being, I think, 50 or something like that in Division One, in limited. Um,
Yeah,
Basically, if you're one, I think if you're 100 in limited, you win 2,000 essence, but it's really likely that you also win some cash with hot streaks. So that's to take into account as well, of course.
yep. And like obviously, it kind of started with offering more cash than ever before, and like we just have to remember that for all of these in-season leagues, like there are streaks on top of it, and so then that doesn't mean like you're guaranteed to win cash just because you're playing in the hot streak, but the odds are if you're in a cash position, you're probably reaching some sort of threshold that would pay for it. So I feel like we kind of talked about the new crafting, although that was a big part of the AMA. I don't. Was there anything in here that was not covered in the AMA in terms of like how it worked? I guess the only one was kind of the draw odds and stuff like that.
No, exactly. Maybe I can quickly touch on this part. So yeah, the odds that you are seeing here are uh, kind of temporary. That will be the odds at launch. We can slightly amend during the season, but that's supposed to be the structure we want to follow. We can also increase the special draw odds. For example, if it's some kind of special moment, we can say that for one day a special draw is you have 50% chances of landing on a special draw. So we have this flexibility of playing with these odds to make them exciting at at some moments. And yeah, we also, the special draw, we are planning to add some. So for now you have two. It's the guaranteed T2 plus. So the 10 cards that you draw are T2 at least. And the other one is that you have 1 star for sure in your draw. But I mean, we will actually expand on this list and add more diversity to the special draw. It can be, I don't know, but maybe a special draw guaranteed keeper, or like, it's sky is the limit with what we can do here. So
For sure.
we will add a few things.
I just want to go back quickly because there was a question about the essence. So there's essence paid out to all of the top 10 in rare, but there is not in limited. Is that right?
I think that's right. That's right indeed. That's a good question. I don't have the exact answer for this one, but I mean, yeah, for the top ranks, you obviously are already rewarded with the top cash price. But it's true that here there's a slight difference between limited and rare, so I can check that after, but maybe there's a good reason. But sorry, I don't have it, but I will check, and if it's not planned, we will correct.
Perfect. Perfect. So yeah, the other thing that we kind of got information on were obviously all of the percentages of what tiers of cards you can get, but we got kind of a look into how much it'll cost to use these. I guess you guys are calling them crafting clues. Um, so yeah, if you get like just your standard draw, the league reveal, and then the nationality of the player, 500 essence, it'll cost for a standard draw 1,000 for a special. Do you guys have any plans to increase the number of possible clues, or this what we're going to get?
Yeah, of course, that's also planned. I think that Erwan already mentioned one in the AMA, which will probably come shortly after the launch of the season. It's the 50-50. I mean, it will only keep the best, the higher tier, the five highest tier cards from the draw.
Yep.
So we will, of course, expand on that, and then we can again expand on the list and add more. Just a little precision on the fact that, yeah, the essence amount that you see here are like kind of temporary promotional for the launch, because it's important to understand the power of those clues. I mean, it's kind of a big thing, especially if you land on a special draw. Let's say that I think we even put the example in the blog, but if you're a special draw with a guaranteed T0,
Mm-hmm.
a star, then you'll use. I think if you have enough essence, you'll use for sure the two clues that you have, and it can be a decisive clue for the actual player that is in the draw, and you could find the T0 thanks to that. So it's really cool. I mean, the crafting experience is becoming super cool thanks to that, and the excitement that it brings. Like, I mean, if you see a Man City Croatian player, well, it's, oh no, it can be Kovacic. I was gonna say Kovacic. Yeah, Norway Premier League can be Odegaard or Alan too, but you have a pretty good hint on the top player that you can pick. So yeah, I think it's a great addition. It's also addressing feedback that we have from many managers, because they cannot select which league they craft from if they
Right.
play a lot of different leagues. But at least with that, uh, you can uh, you can know the which leagues you are picking from. So I think it's great. We are super excited with this change too.
Rikamon said, "Is this 500 to reveal each card or all of them?" But here it says, "Yeah, you." I assume
Yeah,
like if you use 500 essence, it reveals the league for all
yeah,
10.
yeah, yeah. No, no. Of course, you have the reveal of the 10 leagues in front of you. That's why we're saying that those amounts are the promotional temporary ones, because they could change a few weeks after the launch. But we will make sure to give notice and inform everyone.
And if you go through all of this and you hate your card, you guys will take it back.
Exactly. Exactly. So if it's a player that you're not happy with, a DNP you would rather not have or collect, or the league that you didn't use any clue, and you get a league that you don't want to get, well, at least you can get back a portion of the essence that you used. So the exact amount will be revealed closer to the launch of the new crafting machine. But I think that some people, yeah, prefer getting back a few like a bit of their essence, rather than keeping a player that doesn't match their strategy, or collecting at all. So I think it's pretty good news too.
There was a question. This is a good one. In terms of the essence flavor of all of the cards, are they all the same, or like how are the percentages of like flavor essence flavor per card work?
Yeah, no, it's applied to each card of the draw. So if you have, let's say, 33% Premier League Essence, 33% Bundesliga, 33% La Liga, each card of your draw has 33% chance of being one of each league. Otherwise, it's less like the league clue would have been less exciting because it will just reveal the same league for everyone, and it would have basically be just knowing which league we
Right.
are crafting from. But no, it's at the card level of your draw that those odds works.
So, I mean, theoretically, if you only play La Liga, then you know all of your essence will be La Liga anyway. And so,
Exactly.
yeah.
So you should only use the nationality clue.
Um, and then, yeah, what you guys obviously the card factory closes on the 15th. And that's during that time, MLS, K League, J League, Argentina, and Norway cards will not be available to craft. Well, nothing will be available to craft at that point. Reopens on the 25th. Obviously, the reason for this is to allow. Oh, sorry, my camera just lost out on me. To allow for the kind of the tiers to get set so that you can kind of reward the appropriately tiered cards.
Yeah, exactly. First, we need this transition to release the new crafting machine. So it has to be closed for a few days. So you still have more than 10 days to craft MLS, K League, or J League cards in advance, and also with the actual system. So the one with the different milestones, if you want to. But yeah, starting the 25th, it's gonna be back, and new season cards will gradually join the crafting pool of rewards. And the rule is super simple. It's when the first game week of the first match day of a league locks after 4 p.m. You can craft. So you have to be careful, because if you want to craft on July 25th, 25, and you have, let's say, Premier League essence, well, I think you will be warned before doing it, but you cannot win a Premier League card before you cannot craft a Premier League card before August 15th. So you have to manage your strategy and what you want to do. But yeah, for Jupiler, first game week is on July 2025. So that's when the card will be available after 4 p.m.
Right. Basically, just ensures that you don't craft cards before the first game week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's also, as you said, linked to the fact that with the first transactions on the market, first auctions, etc., cheers can be a bit yeah, messed up. So there are those few days before the crafting is operational for new launches.
Yep. Sealing is kind of announced here. The basically the point is if you seal cards in your vault, you're going to get a rewards boost um, on some of your rewards. They don't apply to hot streaks, missions, arena, or other special events. There wasn't a whole lot of detail in terms of how many cards you're going to have to seal. Your example here shows 500, but I assume it's just kind of an example or one of the steps. Do you know when we'll get kind of more details on when those levels come out?
Yes, it's gonna be mid July, so probably before the Jupiler early access cards. So sealing will be like live on Sorare, so you will be able to start sealing your cards and see how it behaves. Um, yeah, for now we didn't share the exact numbers and levels. What I can share is that we want to have a good system that encourages managers to seal cards to boost their reward. So we want it to be rewarding to seal cards. So we will monitor the data after we launch, etc. But our goal is that a medium-sized gallery, I mean a manager that plays the game for last who played, sorry, the game last season or even more, and willing to seal cards. A few of them will land somewhere between 5 and 10% maybe, or even a bit more. Hard to predict because it will depend on what you're willing to seal or not. But yeah, we want it to be like a good system that encourages and rewards for that. But of course, yeah, important to keep in mind that that depends on the quality of the card. So if you only seal 10 DNPs, don't expect to be at a 4% reward bonus. But no, it's a cool. I think it will be a cool system, and as you said, important to note also, it applies to all the cash and essence leaderboard rewards. So both in classic and in season.
Perfect, perfect. Um, yeah, the one thing that jumped out at me, at least in terms of sealing, was actually the unsealing. I think in MLB you can unseal one card per day, but for this one it's obviously one card every 2 weeks per scarcity. So there's definitely a lot more. It's a bigger decision here because you're not going to be able to unseal cards all that easily.
Exactly. Yes. We want sealing to be a real decision that you make, like not a light one. So of course we had a lot of discussions within the community around burning, etc. So that's not sealing is not burning, of course, because you can always get back your cards and play with it again. But still, we want it to be something significant. So we designed a rather like aggressive is not the right word, but more strict rules on unsealing, so that you can always keep your prayers. Like nothing forces you to do it, but if you do it to get your boosted rewards, well, it's a commitment, and the advantage of it is that it will reward you significantly. So if that helped you to get like 10%, I mean, as we said in the example, that works also with essence, etc. So it's uh, it's a significant boost for your rewards. So yeah, that was the logic.
And those boosts apply to classic as well, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Classic leaderboard. So not the arena,
right.
but a classic leaderboard. Yeah.
And I'm I'm not going to say this is going to happen because obviously I don't work for Sorare, but one of the examples that they have, or one of the things that they do for MLB, is they have daily missions specifically for cards that are sealed. And so the kind of the equivalent would be sometimes they have cash ones, sometimes it's essence, but it's, win 50, win 100 essence for a player you chose from your vault that scores a goal today, something like that. And so while the vaulted or the sealed cards can't be played in game weeks, they can't be sold, they can't be played in the arena equivalent. But there are occasionally contests that you use your sealed cards for. And so it's not like you're sealing them and you just like they're gone forever. Like they actually could develop things, and they have, at least on the MLB side.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. That's a really good point and a good example with the NBA MLB. Sorry. Yeah, because what they tested is clearly something that we could consider for football. Those sealing specific mission. That's a direction we could take to give sealing some kind of utility. We are also considering having other stuff, maybe that your ceiling level could not only unlock reward boost, but maybe other things like other type of rewards or in-game item. I don't know, but that's the follow-up we are considering for ceiling indeed. So for sure we'll expand on that after the season launch. But yes, it's the direction.
Cool. Uh, Another way to use our classic cards, not that we can't use in season, are the month long competitions, which we're calling the championship, which first one is in September, and that's all we know.
Yes, yes. We cannot reveal much more for now. Well, I could actually give a few additional hints, but yeah, the championship is, in my opinion, super exciting because I heard this feedback, a lot of people loving how, and I think it's shared by actually a lot of our managers, but the fact that on Sorare you can win those crazy experiences, the tickets, the jerseys, and everything. I think we didn't always do a great job at rewarding them in the best possible way, even if we did our best. But I don't know if the club shop drops were the best thing, or putting some jerseys in some reward boxes sometimes, etc. So we wanted to reward them, but I don't think it was optimal. And now with the championship, I think we found the best place to reward those type of prizes, because if you're interested by leaving those things, because not all Sorare managers want to use their cards for this purpose. I think some only want the other type of rewards. So now you have a place where you can voluntarily enter for those prices and use your cards, use your classic cards too, because it's more utility for them, and yeah, and fight for those crazy prizes with a unique format, because it's a month long, so you have to be consistent and good in the long run. So yeah, on top of the price, you also win this ultimate bragging right, which could be the manager of the month, the best for a manager of the moment. So we will celebrate that as it should. But yeah, I think that's a great addition. And maybe, yeah, just to hint a bit more at the prize pool. So for sure, it will include some of the best experiences that we have, like meeting our best ambassadors, the type of money can buy experiences like for the top ranks. But I think that we will also extend the ranks that can win something with the jerseys and tickets, etc. So it won't be like just a top three winning the best prize,
Right.
and that's all. If we can go up to top maybe 100, we will, and top 100 will be rewarded.
And I don't know if you can say this yet or not. Are they going to follow like a similar competition structure? Meaning, will we have a champion Europe one, or is it kind of usually just be all star? Or
No, champion is the championship. Sorry, is one competition, so no restriction on the league. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, it's all star basically. What we will have though is some special rules, because we want it to be like skill based. So there should be a cap. I think we will of course reveal the exact rules later, but I think that there will be a cap. You can mix cards from all scarcities without the scarcity bonus, so that everyone is on the same level in terms of gameplay. But because it won't be like scarcity specific, there won't be one for each scarcity, but you can play any cards. And yeah, we will reveal the exact rules before the first edition.
we have requests here to have the So Rare socks as part of the prize pool. So
That's possible. We can consider it, or maybe only for the first place.
yeah.
That's the cherry on the cake for the first place.
um, we got a couple questions on Arena, which we obviously know Arena is now kind of a permanent part of the competition structure. We have the regular enter before the game week starts. Then we have kind of the late entry. You can do unlimited entries now as long as you have the essence to play it. Can you just confirm that that Arena will always be SO5?
At the start, yes. At the start, yes. Arena is indeed SO5, with two formats to begin the season with: the capped one and the uncapped one. Uncapped meaning no cap, but also actually bonuses that apply there. So it's the kind of all-star format.
Mhm.
But yeah, what we say and what we will really try to follow up with rather quickly is that we really want to pass to a V2 of the arena as soon as possible, hopefully by, I don't know, September or October. But for it to become this customizable sandbox when you choose basically everything. So maybe the league, the cap or no cap, bonus or no bonus, room size, arena eligibility amount that you want, with a few options each time. And then you're maybe SO7. Why not choose SO5 or SO7? That could be also one of the options. And yeah, and I think I'm like I can't wait to. I love arena as it is, but I can't wait to get there also, because it takes a whole new dimension. It can also become social. Maybe you create your arena, your private arena with your rules, but only your friends join it. So yeah, that will be that's not live at the start, but we have a great launch, and we also have great things coming right after. So it's super exciting.
And in terms of the rewards for the arena, obviously with the new essence calculations, like we previously had 10 essence to enter. Now at the regular arena, the capped one is 100. Are the prizes should we expect them to be the same as they are now, just 10x higher in terms of the essence count?
Yeah, exactly. It will be really similar in terms of structure. So you will have this 5% chances of landing on a golden room with the boosted rewards, but the redistribution will be really similar. Just here, I think that what we're aiming for is more that the 100 arena is more like the 5 one that we tested a few times.
Okay.
And yeah, but yeah, we wanted to have like two different. So yeah, just to precise my point, I don't think it's exactly 10x,
Yeah,
because
sure.
we also adapted it to the new structure. The fact that the 100 echoes the minimum essence that you win in the leaderboard. But yeah, I think that if you apply the 10x to the 101, you are really close to the price pool of this one. So it was I think 50. So I guess that the winner of the 100 arena will win 500. I
Right.
think it's
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. You're right. I didn't expect it to be like drastically different. So it's just
Yeah.
kind of a nice confirmation that it should
And
be around
sorry,
it.
just one little thing I didn't mention in the arena section is that Unique is getting its own arena for the start of the season. So because we only had the super rare
Mhm.
on top of limited and rare, but we are starting with a Unique only arena 2 for next season. Same kind of rules in terms of room size, arena entry, etc. We could adapt if we see that those rules don't fit the Unique specificities. But yeah, that's also something new.
Makes sense. Lineup bonuses, as you guys you kind of said in the blog, you tried it out with the club global cup, but we're going to get basically a 4% score bonus if we stay under a cap of 260 for, I guess it's basically just in-season competitions. Classic, because it's 7-player lineups, will be 370, and then a 2% bonus for kind of the anti-stacking of not having more than 2 players from the same team. And I like that you guys kind of eliminated that from international breaks, just because that stuff's just really hard anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense because you could enter a friend's stack and have the anti-stack bonus. So that's not super consistent. So maybe we'll add the multi-nationality bonus for the occasion, but that's not the case for now. So we rather not have it for international breaks.
We're almost at the end here. So really appreciate you taking all this time, Momo. I know, like I said at the beginning, I'm sure there hasn't been a lot of sleep over the last couple of weeks. So thank you for that. So the scoring matrix changes. I don't know. You can decide how major this is or not. But we now no longer have the negative decisive for goalkeepers conceding 3 goals, but the penalty for conceding any goal is now 5 points from 3. And then everybody's favorite thing to whine about in terms of the scoring matrix has been fixed. If a player wins a penalty and the penalty is missed, they basically get a big chance created. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, no. With these little tiny changes, we didn't want to like revolutionize anything. It was more like trying to identify a couple of good changes for everyone, and that are like first consistent with the what we want to do, which is have our scoring metrics reflecting the performance of the players, and also that are like some see that we things that we often see on feedback from the community. I think so. We didn't want anything unnecessary or controversial. We're sticking with two basic changes that are, I think, should be unanimously approved. I mean, it's justified in both cases.
Yeah, I think what's nice is that there are changes that I think a lot of people were hopeful for, and we're not running to the market to find players because of a scoring change, which I think is a positive. Collection bonus update. Now you just have to hold a card for 30 days to get 20 points instead of 90 days for 10, which you guys kind of mentioned helps everyone. So it's simple as that.
Yeah,
Particularly, just seems like it helps people building collections early that they can realize that collection bonus before the 90 days.
yeah, exactly. No, we meant it right, and we also heard that some people were kind of a bit frustrated with the change, also because it's a rule change, so they they rather keep things as they are, and we can understand that. But yeah, in this case, this rule was implemented before the switch to the in-season model. So okay, you needed to wait 90 days, but then you could enjoy your collection on all the leaderboards of Sorare as at the same level. But with in season, that means that, and even if you start in August, you only enjoy this part of the scoring in October or November, and you don't want to start a collection later in the year because you think that it's useless for you because you'll never enjoy this bonus because it will be close to the end of the season. And yeah, at the same point, that's also a good push for the secondary market because it was complicated to get a lot of collection points from the secondary market from manager sales. And also with that, it becomes more interesting to do your scouting for manager sales and get a bit more points and more quickly from there. So yeah, that's how it was taught.
When does that take into, like, when does this go into effect?
That's a good question. I'll reconfirm, but if I'm not mistaken, every all those types of changes go live on the first Jupiler game week. So it will be yeah, same for scoring matrix, etc. That's when Sora 26 truly enters. It's at this moment, and you'll have also the classic competitions, etc.
Perfect. You guys, I think the graphic hinting at SO7, or not hinting, explaining SO7, but you said the positions were kind of still up in the air, but you guys decided on one goalkeeper, two defenders, two midfielders, one forward, and one extra, which I think is kind of what everybody was expecting. So it'll be fun to see all the lineups that people start building there. And special events, I feel like special events are long things that a lot of users kind of they overlook, and then all of a sudden they get in the lobby and they're like, oh, that's really good. And it seems like you guys are, well, it doesn't look like you guys are kind of getting rid of the monthly, this is what we're going to do each game week, and that the special events are really going to focus on actual special events.
Exactly. That was tied to last season structure. We didn't have All Star, we didn't have the arena, etc. So, of course, we wanted to provide utility in some also some quieter game weeks. With this new structure, it's less needed to have this. notably because All Star. I mean, people also need to realize that when we mention All Star Classic, it's not the All Star that they were used to see sometimes to times this season. Like it's rewarding a big All Star with. We didn't touch a lot on this point at the beginning, but for big game weeks, it's I think top 100 winning at C0 in Div 1. It's top 10,000 in each division, winning Essence. So we now have a permanent classic structure that is rewarding more than the other. So yeah, there's less this need of like covering utility through this calendar. And as you can say now, of course, they're gonna be special events, but they will be truly special, as you said, and more like big good surprises for everyone. And the only thing that we're keeping, of course, is the European nights and international break utility. Well, I said we're keeping, of course, like you will have a place to play them, and also some kind of in-season part of it to also win cash in European nights, of course. But for those, we will rethink the format. So it will be something recurring, of course, but we will rethink it because I don't think the one we currently have is super super satisfying. We have someone
Oh,
wants to say hi.
everyone.
I don't think the current one is super satisfying in terms of European nights because, like, I mean, we put quite a lot of rewards there, and yet it wasn't at the level of the moment, and the experience wasn't good. Basically, like even with a lot of rewards and a lot of cash rewards, uh, it wasn't there that it was the easiest to win, and I found it personally frustrating the format of last year, over reliant on some big performance for one big European team, which then is all over the top of the leaderboard,
Right.
etc. So yeah, we want something that matches up the excitement of these important moments and rewards differently, or I mean, in a better way. So we are still fine tuning this, but we will reveal before, of course, the European competitions come back.
Yeah, no, that's great. One of the questions, like, do you think there will be mirrored like in season and classic for European nights, for example?
That's a good question. I'm not completely sure. Well, actually, I don't know because it's not completely logged in.
Yeah.
So you will have classic utility, of course, and you already are guaranteed that with a really good classic All Star Classic, a really good Under 23
Yep.
Classic, arenas that will be permanent, but also special arenas maybe for those formats. So you will have classic utility, of course, that's already taken for granted, but it might not be some kind of mirroring as we had in the past.
Makes sense. Makes sense. The competition opening rules, which are just kind of reminders for everyone. I don't think
Yeah, nothing.
that doesn't
Not.
really change anything. And I'm not going to go through every single prize pool here because you guys can just read these yourself based on what you want to play. But there is a link to this prize pool breakdown in that blog. But otherwise, I'll just leave a link in the description of the video. But you can see kind of all of the leaderboards for any competition you play. There's Prem Limited, in season, and I think that's, let's see, I'm trying to think of if we missed anything. Despite going through all of it, I think there were some people asking about the classic. Were the classic prize pools in here?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they are all here. As you can see, like limited classic D1, like 100 stars, which you mentioned before, which is, I think these are just very clear. You're going to want to do everything you can to be in Division One as much as possible because that's where the best prizes are going to be. Like 20 stars given up every All-Star game week is crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, that's also what we wanted to say when we spoke about transitioning for the mirroring to this. because the mirroring was diluting the rewards a lot.
Yeah.
So we managed to, as promised, build an exciting prize pool for those three classic competition.
Yeah, and I saw somebody at one point was mentioning like this example here that Unique Classic is only giving out one card, but based on the essence it's given out, like the top six will get enough essence to craft a card anyway. So it's not like there's no card that the sixth, fourth, fifth, and sixth place is getting the opportunity to craft a unique, or they can hold on to that essence and use it for something else instead of getting a unique that of a player they may have in their galley that they'll seal right away. And so I think a lot of people just need to not necessarily just look at the cards that are giving away, and that like essence represents cards at this point, and every 1,000 essence is a card. And so you could look at this as Unique Classic All-Star giving away up to 6 cards every competition.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that exactly. It's up to craft that you can win with a single lineup, and yeah, that's super important to note.
There are just a couple questions I wanted to bring up. One of them was about MLS and like when those essence numbers will be adjusted, basically, because those are going to the current one shows all the like current essence numbers.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. If we will remind that, of course, but if I'm not mistaken, we are aiming at doing the change on for the game week of Friday the 18th, I think, simply because the essence adjustment of everyone's essence balance will be made on the 15th that we said in the blog.
Okay.
So that's when your essence will reflect the new scale and will be multiplied by 20. So of course we need the prize pool of the game week starting from that to also be adapted to this new scale. So the essence amount of the prize pool will be adapted starting from there. So it's 1 week before Sorare 26 actually starts with Jupiler. Yeah, we have 1 game week of transition during which the prize pool will be adapted for essence.
And speaking of things being adapted, the adapted hot streak numbers, like for the early, like the first month where we cut the threshold number or the boosted payout, do those apply to MLS at all?
No,
Okay.
no. MLS, those are for the leagues that are launching. MLS isn't that much affected by the changes. It's also important because like we are trying to commit as much as possible to stability across a league season. So for MLS, we're mid-season. So and the fact that it has its own competition helps us isolate it from the changes, but they are still benefiting from two positive changes. It's the classic card that is now eligible for hot streaks.
Yep.
That's true, and the lineup bonuses, which helps you get higher points. So in the bid the game formats, like that's net positive because if you build anti-stack or capped team, you're closer to your targets for sure. So those two are applied for to MLS.
And I'm going to make this the final one because I've taken up a ton of your time.
No
Um,
worries.
Market credits were nowhere on the prize pool. Have you guys remove those basically?
No. We did from the permanent prize pool, but I think it was kind of the same past season. We don't often reward market credits in the permanent competitions prize pool. We were rather putting them in special events. We will continue to do so, of course. But yeah, there's a whole part of the gameplay that we didn't touch on a lot, which are the missions, the daily picker, etc., etc. We'll have like full flexibility on expanding those, making them more exciting, and potentially reward more the credits there too. But yeah, we'll have tons of places whether it's promos, missions, etc., to reward, or special events to reward those credits. So we're planning to rely on them, of course, and continue to do so.
Cool. I think that's enough. It was a very long vlog. It's been well over an hour. Yeah, really appreciate you taking the time, Momo, because it's the ability to get these questions basically right away after you guys send them out. I think is helpful both for you and for everybody who read it, and particularly everybody who didn't read it. We just answered your questions anyway, but. Yeah, I think there's obviously some very big changes, and there's already a lot of excitement about it now that people can kind of dive into exactly how they want to play. And as crazy, like we're like 2 or 3 weeks away from really diving in, like from starting to play already. And so, yeah, everyone's excited. And so thank you for taking the time.
No, we are really excited too, and really appreciated the engagement of everyone, and of course thanks to you to give for having given me this opportunity to do this, because as you said, it was a really long blog, so it's a cool format to be able to react to it almost live after it's published, and yeah, thanks a lot, Andrew.
Yeah. So thanks everyone for coming. If you have any questions that we didn't get to, like, feel free to leave a comment on the video, and I'll try to get that answered for you, or I'll just answer it. But yeah, I think there's more to come, as you said, mid-July, the ceiling stuff, and maybe more details on the month-long stuff. But I think everyone has enough now to start really planning for the upcoming season. So thank you to everybody. Thanks for coming. If you could please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Shout out to Quinny. Good luck with all of your scouting for the season, and please make sure you get outside.